Hello and welcome to our crafting session this evening. It is Thursday the 4th of July, so happy Independence Day to any of our American viewers today. And I'm Jenny McCormac. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that's here in the UK. It's a very busy time for us at this time of year because we have the Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix, taking place in Silverstone, which is about 5 miles up the road, and so there's a lot of business related to that, lots of traffic, all of the hotels and things like that are all booked out, so it's a really good time. Hi Caroline. Caroline, oh good evening. I thought for a minute you said good morning. I'm so sorry. So earlier on, this week on Monday, I made, let me see, this card here. Grateful for you, it says. That sentiment comes from the set. And the set is called Layers of Beauty. And it is similar but slightly different style to the Enduring Beauty stamp set, which is also still available, and that was in last year's catalogue and has been carried over into this year's catalogue. I am running an event on Saturday the 13th of July, so not this Saturday but next Saturday. And I just want to show you quickly the cards that we're making there. So this is in Buckingham Library, and you'll have all the supplies to make these 3 cards. You can choose whatever colours you like that I have available, so if you have a particular preference, do let me know, and you can choose your own sentiments. So we have this one here, which is a slightly cheats version of partial die cutting. So the full-blown version of this has this stamped and then die cut just this end portion. I've done a slightly cheats version only because of time, as much as anything, at the event, and that this is a base white card with a panel put over it, and the front cut off here, and then this layer is popped on the top because the layer can be die cut. So I'm doing a slightly cheats version. Hi Carol, thanks for joining us. And then we have this one here. This was inspired actually by a card sent to me recently by my team leader Michelle, and she had a slightly different variation of this, but I like the layout of the 3 strips, which comes from one of the samples in the catalogue. So this is stamped, coloured in, and then cut up and layered onto this gold layer, and again sentiments and colours of choice. And then this one here, which is what I'm going to recreate this evening but in different colours, is the die cut version. This extra flower, you probably can't see it but you will see it when I do it, is also die cut, so it's layered up, and then I've got a sentiment, and then I popped it onto the exposed brick backing, which is an embossing folder. So that's those 3 there. This is the one that I did before Coffee and Card. And then Catherine, one of my team, and also at Coffee and Card, mentioned it would look really nice in vanilla. So I stamped this in Early Espresso on vanilla cardstock and mounted it onto vanilla. And it really does look like a sepia old-fashioned card. Hi Teresa, thanks for joining us. And then this was a similar thing, but it's the same sort of thing actually, but done on white card, just to show you how different it looks. And I just literally coloured the flowers and nothing else for these 2. Same with this one. but for this one that we've done at Coffee and Card, I covered the flowers and the leaves, and you can leave it uncoloured as well without any colouring at all. So this one's got a Pretty in Pink backing, so I used Pretty in Pink and Moody Mauve. This one is purples, so Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. This one is similar colouring, the background is Highland Heather. And then this one is, it'll come to me in a minute. Oh, I've gone completely blank. It's peach pie, that's the one, with a little bit of pumpkin. And this one is actually basic beige. That one is a little bit of peach pie. So, so many variations you can do with this. Evening Annabelle, hi Trudy, and Teresa, hi, thanks for saying hi. So, as you can see already, I've got a whole stack of these cards, but these are the ones that we're doing for class. If anybody orders the bundle from me during the month of July, then I will record videos. We'll have this one already, but I'll record videos for these as well and send you the components to make them. So the stamp set comes with the dies and the masks. So let me just dig those out. So here are the ones. So we've got 5 masks. Sorry, I haven't cleaned them particularly well. So we've got 3 that are the flowers. I've got light, medium and dark and light leaves. And I have labelled them up just to help people at Coffee and Card. So if I just pop this on here, if you didn't see the session I did on Monday. So this is number 1, which is the light rose, so the lightest colour. This is number 2, which has a little bit more detail, and that's going to have a medium colour. And then the finest detail, which is this one here, is in the darkest colour. Now you can use the exact same colour right the way through, but because you're layering it up, you'll get the darkness by having 3 layers. And then we have similarly the light leaves and then the dark leaves, which are the details for those. And we're going to use blending brushes to apply this. So let's get cracking. Let me find, I'm hoping to find the stamp set case to show you. Here it is. So it's called, as you can see, Layers of Beauty. Oh, sorry about that reflection. So it has this main image here, and then we have Anniversary, Grateful for You, You Make My Heart Smile, and God Bless. And then you've got a little bit of a freesia bud here, a small flower, a single flower, and then a single leaf as well. So let's get some stamping done. I've decided to change to blues for our card today. I haven't got any in blue. This is Coastal Cabana. This is Pretty Peacock. And I've got a layer for the inside of the card, which I will stamp up. And I've distressed this with the embossing folder called Time Worn Type, I want to say. No, this is Exposed Brick. Sorry, because it's very similar. Okay, so let's grab a piece of card that we're going to stamp on, and I'm going to use my stamping platform because it's a big stamp, and I'm also going to use this for using the masks. I find it much easier, and especially for my people at Coffee and Card. It means they haven't got to hold it the whole time, they can just use the magnets. So I have this stamp already, okay, and what I've done is I positioned it in the same place that the masks will go. So if I just let that rest there and grab one of the masks, hopefully you'll be able to see it. If I pop this in the corner, if you can see, this open area, this aperture here, is over the main part of those flowers, and also here and here. And if I show you the same with the leaves, oh, it's a bit less obvious because obviously it's hidden behind. You can also stamp it and just manually colour. If you're happy and like colouring in, you could definitely do it that way round. Okay, let's pop a block under there. I've got early espresso ink that I'm going to use, and I'm sorry for that reflection. I might bring it down. That doesn't really help, does it? Let's move it away a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I hope everybody has had a good week so far. Of course, it's Thursday evening for us here in the UK, so our polling stations are open for voting, so I've done that. So just going to pop this down and just apply a nice amount of pressure with the heel of my hand. I find that the easiest. There we go, and there's the image, nice and crisp. If you want it a little bit darker, you could just stamp it and re-ink it and stamp it again, so I'll just do that because this particular ink pad probably needs topping up. There we go. Alright, so there's our image there, so I can take this away, I don't need that for the moment. And I'm going to put the masks on in turn and use my blending brush. Right, you don't have to use them in this particular order. Okay, so I've got number 1 here, just going to pop that magnet on there to hold it. Now it's just got a little bit of orange on it, but I'm not worrying too much about that. I've got a blue blending brush. Just going to see what ink I've got on there, that's fine. So I'm just using a circular motion over the open areas. Hi Gina. Pop that there. Like that. And if you wanted to do these in different colours, you could use a sponge dauber and just add colour in the smaller areas. So I've got these 3 main flowers, and remember this is the lightest layer. And I've got Coastal Cabana, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'll finish with this for the moment. And colouring with these masks is very therapeutic because you don't have to worry about going over the lines because it's all masked off ready for you. And I did share on my Facebook page and I think on Instagram some of the cards that were made on Tuesday. And it was a beautiful selection, lots of different colours. Okay, so I'm just going to make this a little bit darker again because I tend to go quite light, but this does look stunning as you get darker and darker as well. Okay, so that's layer number 1. Like that. Hopefully you can see that. I'll lift it up to the screen. like so. Then I'm going to add the medium. So this covers up some of that rose and allows you to add some detail. So adding this, and you'll see this as it comes through. Now you do need to be a little bit careful with some of the middles of these flowers, because the sort of acrylic that it's used in is quite pliable, and therefore if you're not careful it can bend a little bit. So just be aware of that. It's not the end of the world because it's just a detail bit. Okay, so what you can do at this point is just lift this up and see what that's looking like. So hopefully you can see a little bit more of that detail now. And I'm going to go on to the dark rose, so the smallest amount. I'm going to use Lost Lagoon, but I might so this is a darker blue, but I might add some Pretty Peacock as well. So this is darker again. So you can use 3 layers of colour, or you can use 1 colour layer on layer. So you can just see this, and these are the middles of the flowers. So if you wanted the middles of these little flowers to be yellow, you could grab a sponge dauber and do that. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. Hopefully you can see that detail. If you think, oh, I want to darken up a part of that, you can obviously go back to the previous number 2, or you can go back to number 1. So if you wanted the whole thing darker, you could just repeat this with darker colours. So I'm just adding a little bit more of this darker one. And these masks do have the numbers in the top, but it's quite difficult to see, especially at Coffee and Card, so I've written on them, and then I've written whether it's a medium colour or a light or a dark, just to make life easier. Okay, so now we're on to the leaves. So I've got garden green and a green blending brush. Let's just see how much I've got on there. A reasonable amount. So I've got number 4, which I've called light leaf, like so. And obviously you could do different parts of these leaves in different greens if you wanted to. But the flowers are roses, so most of these leaves are rose-shaped leaves. Okay. There we go. So there's our first layer. You can see how this comes together so well. And then let's add the dark leaf. And I am just using garden green again. I'm adding a little bit more ink, and because it's going over that area, it should show up nicely. Now I was going to do a second layer on top, but I can't actually see my Layers of Beauty dies. I might have to look in the stamp set. But we will be doing the layers for our class. So if anybody's interested, that's in Buckingham a week on Saturday, and there are lifts available from Brackley to Buckingham and back. Okay, there we go. So I'm happy with that. Let me lift that up and show you. Hopefully you can see that. So what I'm going to do now is find the die, which is here somewhere, because I had it to hand just before we started. There it is. No, it's not. Okay. It's big enough that I'm not going to miss it, she says. Okay, those are my layers. Well, okay. Bear with me, folks. Talk amongst yourselves whilst I find it, because it is literally just here. I have found the rest of the dies. So there are other dies. So this is the one that cuts the part of the panel out. This rose here is cut out, and then we have extra leaves, a little tag, and then extra leaves, and these also cut out the additional flowers. So there's one for each of these. These are tiny, but that's rather nice, that cute little one there. So all I need to do is find that die that was here literally 10 minutes ago. Looking on my machine, there it is. Okay, it had pinged itself to my magnet. That was why. So one thing I meant to say is, when you are stamping this, you want to make sure the masks are the right way up, with the number and the little notch on the top left hand side. If you stamp it and colour it in that way, the die is not going to fit, because it will be the wrong way round. Now there is a way around that. You can die cut it from the back, but to save you that hassle, just make sure that your stamp and mask match with the notch on the top and left hand side. Right, I'm just going to pop that through my die cutting machine. So let me clear that space. So I'm just going to pop this through. I put a little bit of tape on just to help it. There we go. Okay, just peel that little bit of tape off. Okay, so there is our die cut flower that's going to go onto here. Now you can turn it around if you wanted it a different way. You can turn it around at this point. If I want to do the extra layer, I can do that. Let me just pop this back on the platform. and just re-stamp it. And I only need, so actually it's this way around, it's this little piece here. If I put that, so I can stamp the whole thing, and I'm just going to cut that little bit out after colouring. Hopefully that bit should work. It doesn't need to be that large. I do need it the right way around. Let's see if that'll work. So it's that flower there. Either of those works. Okay, let's just ink that up quickly, and I'll just use the mask for that little bit. Obviously you could do the whole thing and then fussy cut the other bits out if you wanted to, but just going to hopefully ink up that little bit there. Hope you can see that. Realised it might have been a little bit far away, so that's that leaf. Let me double check I haven't missed anything. No, that's fine. So just going to use those first 3 masks again. So here's the light rose. Just hold that down with that, like so. And this is blue. So I just need this base, number 1, number 2, going to add a little bit more ink, and you don't need to do this second layer if you don't want to, but it does give a really nice effect. Do it fairly swiftly. 2 and number 3. That's that one. So there is the flower, and then I just need the 2 for the leaves, and it's only this bit here that it's going to cut out, she says. Yep, just making sure it wasn't that bit at the top. So there's that one, and finally that one. Okay, there we are. So that's our additional layer. Move that all out of the way. And so what I'm going to do is just cut that one out like that. So bear with me while I do that. Sure I don't lose the die. So there's that extra little bit. Now there's nothing to stop you stamping, cutting out a whole load of those if you wanted to, and making a separate, completely separate arrangement. I'm going to pop this layer on first. So I'm adding adhesive to the back, And bear in mind that this is embossed, so you want to make sure you've got a nice strong glue to put those layers together. I'm going to use that in a minute. Let's move these out of the way. Okay, so this one here, like that. And then just going to decide which way these flowers are going to go. So that's sort of way it gets stamped. And then this layer is going to go on the top. So I think I'm going to put that flat. So just some glue on the back. You could use wet glue. This is our seal, which is a nice strong glue. So I'm going to have this slightly to the right and pop my sentiment down here. So there's that layer. This is the layer that's going to go on the top, and I'm going to use a bone folder. I have ordered a few new ones because my other ones were getting very stained, and I think I lost a few on the way. So let's have a nice new shiny new bone folder. And what I'm going to do is just run the piece of card between the top of the bone folder and my thumb, a bit like your curling ribbon, if you've ever done that, like so, to give a little bit of interest. So you can see now, instead of sitting flat like that, it's got a little bit of shape to it. You can make it go over that way, or you can make it curl up, whichever way you have on the top. And so I'm going to pop that on with some dimensionals. One, whoops, 2, 3, 4. You could double those up if you want it a little bit higher. That. So just going to position that over there. I don't know if you can see that. It's more obvious in person than it is on there, I have to say. But hopefully you can see that layer like so. And then finally I need to stamp the inside. So I've got a spare piece here. I'm going to use that cute little flower, this one. And pop it in the two corners. Let's find a clear block I can use. I seem to have rather a lot of blocks and odd sentiments. Right, let's pop this on. One here and one here. You could put those all the way around if you wanted to. And I've got the coordinating colours that I can use to colour those in, except they're all in a stack here. So let's see. I've got Light Summer Splash, that will be close enough, and a little bit of green. Just take my glasses off. So just colouring this in. This is a little bit brighter than Coastal Cabana. This is called Summer Splash. So there are dies that cut this little flower out. You can make a cute little summer wreath. If you did I don't know, 10 of those and cut them all out. Not sure I have that level of patience, to be honest. Let's just add a little bit of green. It's only on the inside, so you don't need to go mad. You could leave it uncoloured as well if you wanted to. If I'd stamped straight onto the card, which I think I did with one of our samples, or maybe not. No, even the one I did on Monday, I could colour in. So let's just finish that off. And then you could add embellishments if you've got the matching ribbon. I might have got some Lost Lagoon ribbon or Pretty Peacock ribbon. Oh, that much. Let's try that again. This is Pretty Peacock. So you could add a little bit of ribbon in if you wanted to. And let's just add just a lighter blue. That will do. A little bit of Pool Party. So Pool Party is like a lighter version of that Lost Lagoon. There we go. Just a tiny leaf. So this set, as I say, you can change around. You could also fussy cut elements from here. So with scissors you could just cut round that little bit there if you have a smaller card. There's lots of variations with that. So this is going to go on the inside. Little bit of adhesive. Just line that up. This piece measures 10 centimeters by 14.35 and the card measures 10.5 by 14.85. That's UK sized. Now I've got this really pretty label here, so I'm thinking I'm going to pop that on there, and I've got a happy birthday here that would fit it nicely, and I could stamp that in any of the colours: Pretty Peacock, Espresso, Lost Lagoon, or yes, let's try Pretty Peacock. This particular one, this ink pad is prone to leakage. It was obviously over inked at some point, so I tend to get very messy when I use it. So this one stays at home. Okay, so I've got Happy Birthday. Looks like it's okay. Stamp that in the middle of here. I like it to be straight. There we go. Okay, and that I'm going to pop here on the left hand side, maybe a little bit further down so I don't cover up too much. I'm going to pop that up with our dimensionals to give it a little bit of height, and we're done. Yeah, it helps if you take the sticky bits off, Jenny. and put my glasses on. See if anybody else has commented. So sorry, right. Oh, fly. Oh, bless you, Catherine. Thank you. Yes, my battery on my phone has just died, so that's why I need to check who's here and doing whatever. There we go. I don't think I need this, but I could put a little bit of that behind. I don't think I need it, do you? It's sort of, I think there's enough going on as it is. So there we are. There's our Layers of Beauty card. We've got 2 layers going on. You could certainly do another layer, and if you wanted to, you could even cut out that 3rd set. You'd have to cut it out with scissors, but I might give that a go, just for 3 layers of decoupage. I popped it onto an embossed background, and then this is on pretty peacock card, and I've added that inside, and then I can add a suitable sentiment like "May all your wishes come true," or "Have a blessed day," any of those. So thank you so much. Let me show you these other cards if you joined us after the start. Trying not to get any ink anywhere. So these 3 are for our class in Buckingham next Saturday the 13th. That's those 3 there. So same thing, but 3 different styles, 3 different methods of creating those. This is the sepia one that was suggested by Catherine, which has come out really well. This is the same thing, slightly different colours, but on white. And then this was the one that I showed you on Monday. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed those. That is our stamp set of the week. So order the stamp set either on its own, or with the masks, or with the dies, or any combination of those. So you can buy them individually, or you can buy them as a complete bundle that has everything. And if you do that for the stamp set of the week during this week, you'll get the equivalent components for these cards, and you will also get the videos for these if you order the whole bundle any time during July, because it will be my stamp set of the month in July. So thank you so much, everyone. I'll let you get on. Time to go and cook my curry. That's what I've got this evening, so I'm looking forward to that, and I look forward to being back with you next week. I do have some new kits to show you as soon as they arrive, and we'll have a new stamp set of the week next week. And don't forget, we have bonus days throughout July, so for every £45 you order, you'll be issued with a £4.50 voucher that you can use in August. So that's always worth having. So effectively that's 10% off the list price of anything you then order. So give us a shout if I can help you with anything. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening. Take care. Bye for now.